So we got a couple of updates, links to the Eminem Stans documentary and the Stans album, including a message from Eminem to the fans who have managed to stick around. And if you witnessed what went down during the revival era, you know this is no joke. And we also got a nice throwback to Dido when she revealed how she was shocked when Stan became a hit. And before we dive in, we also got a lot more saved up for the latter part of the video, as if you recall, days ago we covered the story of Salt and Pepa versus UMG, and Salt made it quite clear that their lawsuit versus UMG isn't similar to Drake versus UMG.
I know Drake has a lawsuit against UMG too. You know, he felt like they really promoted They Not Like Us, and somehow, you know, some way it made him look bad. Cause,
oh yeah.
I mean, how do you feel about that? You guys are both kind of suing the same label.
Well, I'm old school, and hip hop is like battling, going back and forth, and it's kind of like calling the police, you know. I'm sorry. I love Drake though, but yeah,
it's kind of like calling the police.
I can't get with that one.
It's kind of like snitching,
yeah,
a little bit.
A little bit.
Well, today we got a lot more on this, as it turns out that the original DJ Spinderella, who worked with Salt and Pepa on their first album, who also appeared on the cover before she was replaced by the second DJ Spinderella, it turns out that she doesn't believe that Salt and Pepa have a solid case versus UMG, and we'll get to this later. And starting with Stans, it turns out that the album is performing a lot better than I expected, at least on iTunes, as while the unreleased song Everybody's Looking at Me has been doing well, #1 on the hip-hop charts and #4 all genres in the United States. Eminem Stans album is also #1 on the hip-hop chart and #5 across all genres on iTunes worldwide. And of course, while this isn't 2002, where we saw Lose Yourself go #1, the soundtrack album for 8 Mile also go #1, and the 8 Mile film go #1 in the box office in the United States. Well, Jake Bass posted the Tamu version of what Eminem achieved in 2002 for the Stans #1 movie, #1 hip-hop song, and #1 hip-hop album. And now's a great time to revisit when Dido revealed that she was shocked by the success of Stan.
I got a call and closely followed by a CD sent to me. I was in New York at the time with you know, they said, oh, Eminem sampled the song, and I'm thinking, I wonder what's happening, you know, I mean, because I was actually a huge Eminem fan, but I was sort of like, I wonder what he's done, you know. and we put it on. I was with a couple of friends of mine who were visiting, and we put it on in the hotel room, and I was listening to the lyrics. I was just like, this is amazing. I mean, I just think his lyrics on that song are absolutely brilliant. You know, he's, to me, the ultimate storyteller, you know, and I was just like, this is great. And then I you know, didn't think too much more about it, and we just sort of got on with the tour, and then just suddenly everything completely exploded. It was definitely quite a leap and quite a shock, but I think what was great and why it didn't fully register was because I was just fully into a tour at that point, so you don't really notice too much of what's going on, you know. And so I was just getting on with that, but definitely it was like, whoa, what just happened? I mean, and I was not prepared for it in any way whatsoever, and actually would never be.
And following the release of the Stans documentary, somehow it is Lose Yourself getting most of the boost on iTunes, as it moved up 33 spots to #123 across all genres and #7 in the hip-hop genre, all while Stan is at #72 on the chart.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
And while it is no Lose Yourself when it comes to digital sales, Stan's been killing it on streaming platforms and remains one of the most successful songs from the 2000s, with over 1.35 billion streams on Spotify and 1.2 billion plays on YouTube Music. And we even got a message from Eminem to the fans from the documentary for those who stuck around through the highs and the lows.
To my fans, thank you. I love y'all. And I would not be here if it was not for you. So I owe you my life, and that's who I do my music for, is them, and fuck everybody else. Come, eat a dick. You don't like it? Eat a fat.
And this is pretty much what the death of Slim Shady was. If you were a fan of Eminem for some time before the album dropped, then you understood the concept of the album, and it was even better for those who have been fans of Eminem since the late 90s, those who got to witness everything happen in real time. It was nostalgia overload, and some have reacted to the snippet from the documentary with takes like, This is why I said I like Recovery. It is not meant for an occasional listener of Eminem. Those albums were meant for the fans. Listening to Recovery so much back in the day, I could tell it was a love letter to us, saying thank you for everything. And if you've seen the Stance documentary, how would you rate it? It is currently at 7.5 on IMDb with over 1,000 reviews. And moving on, we got some spicy updates on the Salt and Pepa versus UMG lawsuit, as well they were on Good Morning America a few days ago to explain what this was about.
The record companies have been getting away with this for a lot of years, and it's time for us to fight for our rights. When you're an artist, in the beginning, you sign a contract saying that the copyrights will revert back to you after 35 years. And we've done all the things legally to get our copyrights back, but they're just refusing, so we had to sue them.
Yeah, it's the law. That's what it really boils down to. It just keeps us from re-releasing our music, promoting our own music anywhere, else.
Our fans don't get to hear it, and they're complaining. They're like, where's the music? They're not on Apple or Spotify. We are the artists, and the law is to protect the artist.
We didn't have that leverage. We didn't have that knowledge. We didn't have that control in the 80s. And so
to be held to a contract from 1985 and 40 years later, it's like ridiculous.
So obviously it's something they want to keep it, they want to hold on to it, and they're trying to fight us. So obviously they understand what's the worth of that.
Why isn't DJ Spinderella part of this suit?
Well, when we first started Salt and Pepa, it was just the two of us. So this particular contract is about the beginning, the first time we signed. So yeah, but Spinderella's still down with us.
She supports us. She just understands she wasn't a part of the lawsuit, but she had given us our support, to fight for that.
Just being women in this industry, it's a constant fight. A fight to be heard, a fight to be respected.
Well, back then, this sparked reactions like, you do wrong by people and it comes back. They did spin dirty. Now they're not seeing the money that they were cutting out of. Legends stuck in a 40-year contract. And it definitely sucks that the music can't even be streamed. The music industry is grimy as hell. And TMZ actually caught up with the original DJ Spinderella from the first album, who left the group shortly before Hot, Cool and Vicious released. And it turns out that she believes that they don't have a solid case versus UMG. And of course, she also spoke about how they fell out and also how they stole her name, DJ Spinderella, and gave it to Diddy, who took up the moniker DJ Spinderella from 1987, who would later be terminated via email in 2019.
Well, what caused the split was a lot of internal, personal, female, catty, jealousy, it's the same thing like, I guess like the Supremes, It was a favoritism thing. I mean, Pepper and I were very cool. I don't know, it's been years, but the last time I did see them, her and I have we have a bond. Even though no matter what Saul says, me and Pepper have a bond. She knows, and I know, we know all the things that went down. She didn't want to include me in the movie properly the way it was. They had me like I was, some, round-the-way girl, flunky or whatever. I don't know. And I know what other people observed it to be like, no, Spin, this is crazy. How she just tried to throw you to the side like you didn't exist when you did so much for the group. Spinderella is my name. That's a whole nother thing. They took my name, okay? When Herbie didn't give it to me, he might have gave it to Didi, but he didn't give it to me. He took it from me. You feel me? Then you're talking about women empowerment. Oh, we all about, female empowerment and women empowerment. No, you're not showing any type of empowerment.
Salt and Pepper are currently suing UMG for royalties, for their albums.
You can't sue them. You cannot sue them. How can you sue for royalties when you didn't write the lyrics? You did not write the music. And half of the music publishing doesn't belong to you anyway, because for instance, we did I'll Take Your Man. That belongs to Parliament. Flashlight, hello. So whoever owns the publishing to that owns half of that record. You can't sue UMG for something you don't own. It belongs to Herbie Azar.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
And of course, it is gonna be interesting to see how this goes down at the ceremony, since the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inducted Salt and Pepa this year for the Music Influence Award, and the ceremony is set for November.
I assume if the Rock Hall, makes everything right, you will be sitting next to Spin and Peppa and not Salt at the ceremony.
Listen, I'll be sitting next to her. That's the type of person I am. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, this is a business. And that's what I don't understand. Like, okay, a lot of groups are like that. I'm like, hey, you guys have your differences, but that's personal. To your millions of fans out there who made you, who supported you, you brought them something to the forefront. And they was like, okay, we love this. And they're supporting you. How can you let your personal differences get in the way of that?
And that will be all for today, and I'll be looking forward to your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.